Hi, my name is Sean O'Leary, and I am reviewing the video for StudyUp. I'm a CEO of a company called Edge Analytics in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been running and building companies now for about 20 years and investing in a variety of startups. So I've seen a lot of business plans. I've judged a lot of business plan competitions, spoken with a lot of students, and I really enjoyed watching the video. Jumping into my feedback here, I'm going to look over at my rubric again from Ms. Catlett. So on some of the elements below, it felt to me that the person that put this together is obviously very passionate about the product. What I often find and what many people see in this space, meaning early stage businesses, is that a product person, someone passionate about a product, is often the founder. They get into the weeds of the product and all the features and functionality of the product, which is fantastic. But they don't really spend a lot of time thinking about the business. So the details that you provided in the video about the features and functionality of the product were great. The usability, there's a lot of thought about how the credits would work, how to motivate people to give feedback, help each other. I think it's great. And the concept is great, by the way, especially for countries where students don't have the opportunities that so many of our kids do. So I love the idea, the concept, let me say that. Some of the things that I do think, though, need to be worked on. There's no explanation really whatsoever about the business model, right? Do people pay for credits after their first 10? If so, what do they cost? I also noticed some inconsistencies in the presentation, some of the facts. In one slide, I think it said that 3 credits are given for the example that somebody says that they like the best that was given to them for a question they had. But conversely, then if you decide to go back and give some examples or help out, then you get 2 credits for that. And I don't understand how that happens. If that's part of the business model, if that was just an inconsistency or an oversight, I'm not really sure. Also, I will say that the presentation, while the optics, the visuals were good. There's a lot of misspellings. There was some formatting issues. There was some math that didn't work. For instance, on the example that you gave of the Pythagorean theorem question, where the hypotenuse is 5 and the 2 sides of the right triangle were 3 and 4 for the distance, there was an example, or in example 1, or answer 1, the comment was made that you can double each of those and it still holds true, all those numbers, or some function of 3, 4, and 5. And I think the example that was given was 6, 9, and 10, not 6, 8, and 10. So there's just it was a little sloppy. I think somebody needs to go through it. I think the words high school and middle school in a separate section were both put together without a gap. Those are 2 different words. There's another couple of words that were misspelled. So I would say, first and foremost, if you're ever going to give a presentation to convince someone to give you money for an idea, you really have to nail the formatting, because it just looks sloppy, and it's something that's really simple to be prepared for and fix. So most people I know that will look at a plan, if there's some of that in there, they'll quickly just discard it, even if it's a great idea, because they just assume that the person presenting just isn't detail-oriented enough. Now, if they are convinced that you're a product person and they know then that they're going to need to bring in a CEO, well, then that may be a different situation. But then you have to be prepared to know that you won't be running the company. You will be focused on other parts of the business. So I would say it's a great idea. It's an interesting idea. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if it's a great idea or not, because I don't know the financial model and how the business looks. I don't know anything about the depth of the market and what the market size is. I don't know what you can practically charge for credits, or how you're going to even make money on this thing. So there's that. I do think it's interesting that you've turned this into a game, and it's obviously made mostly for young people in school. So I think that could be a hook, which is great. I don't know a lot about the barriers to entry. You didn't speak much to that, other than the fact, as a matter of fact, I think the barriers for this would be pretty simple to get over. I mean, it's an app for all intents and purposes, and it's a social media app at that. So I'm not sure really where your competitive advantage is other than first to market in some interesting graphics. And then in terms of delivery and audience awareness, I really didn't see anything about how you were going to market this or take it to market. In 5 minutes or an elevator pitch, which is usually even a little shorter, you need to be able to say, here's my idea, here's the business opportunity, here's the market size, here's how we're going to attack the market, here's how we're different, and here's how you're going to make money. Those are the main things that you want to get across, and I really only saw maybe 1 to 2 of those in this presentation. So I will say the narrator was very eloquent, well-spoken. I do think that that part was great, and I did enjoy the idea, but I would say it needs to be buttoned up a little bit. If you have any questions, ask Ms. Catlett to get in touch with me. I would happily speak with you directly, and best of luck.